fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to share with you a finish. You guys, I finished her. I'm done. 90, was it 99 by 70, and she's finished. Let me talk about some other things first. You can see I had 2 trays of drills, lots and lots of different colors that didn't have very many drills. And then of course over here I had the ones that I had the most of. I will talk more about what I did and didn't like when I show you the canvas, but I didn't run out of anything. I had one special drill and there's one left. So I had one special drill, which was a quad cube, and then I think I had 4 or 5 ABs, and then 2 or 3 fairy dust. This is one of the fairy dust, and I'm going to save all of these even though there's not any left. These are the grape ones, and they look so cool. And then the green ones that were part of the ivy plant, those were also cool as well. So I'm going to be hanging on to any spares of those that I have. Of course, I had the white ABs, maybe I only had 4 ABs. Yeah, because I don't think number 5 was an AB. No, 5 was not an AB. So 4 ABs, a couple of fairy dust, and I think it turned out super, super cute. There's a few things that were kind of annoying along the way and a few things that I don't like, but overall, so much fun with this one. One of the things that I wasn't too thrilled about is there was quite a bit of trash. Now, this is a very big kit. 99 by 70 is a very large kit, but still way more trash than I would have liked, because anytime you're picking out trash, you're not diamond painting, right? So lots of tabs, lots of holes, some of them that had like little black spots in them. Tabs were the biggest thing. I had lots of the pinks and blues that had tabs, and then a lot of the dark red that you see in here, which was basically the outline color instead of black. So much of that had tabs on it that was very frustrating at times. So yeah, a little more trash than I would have liked, but it was a very large kit. I didn't run out of any drills. There were a couple of colors. This is one of them that I was like, oh no, am I gonna run out? Look at that. I've got 10 drills left, I think. But I didn't. I didn't run out of anything. I didn't add anything into this one, so I didn't bling it up. I figured what was included with the kit was enough, so I just did it as charted. I didn't really change anything in it. Let me get the canvas and we'll talk about it. And here she is. Obviously, I can't get everything on the screen because this one is so huge. I have taken B-roll and I will get it to you. It was a lovely mix of confetti and multiplacing. So there were lots of pieces of multiplacing, like here on her sleeves, but then obviously confetti up here where her little bow was, confetti on some of the little candies and things, the candy jars, and some of the stuff that she's obviously working on. This whole icing bag, the pastry bag that she's using, is nothing but fairy dust, these pink fairy dust drills, so that was very enjoyable. I loved the little ruffles here on her apron, the little end of the pastry bag here. Super, super cute. One of the things I did not like was this window behind her, because all of these squares or rectangles are white ABs. And again, because of the coating, the white ABs are just that micron bigger than regular drills. And so trying to get everything to fit in was super annoying. And honestly, there are some places where it's so tight that I have popping drills. Again, glad to have the tight grid, but if they're going to do something like this where they have this many ABs, that should be taken into consideration, in my opinion, because it was super frustrating. I mean, I basically had to single place this whole window, every one of these little sections, because that was the only way to get them all in there and get them to lay flat without popping. And I still have a couple of places where I'm not sure I exactly managed that. And I don't know if it's because it's so big or if because the drill is so tight, but I noticed as I was working, anytime that I moved it, there was a possibility that I lost a few drills that popped off in the meantime. I've gone over it with my roller as many times as I can. I don't think I missed any drills. So there's that. I did have a lot of fun with this. I really enjoyed, like I said, all of the fairy dust drills, just all the cute little fun things, the jelly roll here and the donuts and the little candies, all of that was really fun. Offset by all of the wallpaper striping in the big window and these big sections of multiplacing. They are not perfectly straight. It's okay. By the time you back away, you can't tell. All the little ABs, of course, white ABs in the window, in her eyes, her earrings, highlights on lots of other things. The green ABs over here in the leaves, and there's also some fairy dust in the leaves. So that was fun. There's a purple AB and then also the purple fairy dust on the little grape container, which you can't see, but you can see in the B-roll. So just lots of fun things that I just really enjoyed it. The cookies, the strawberries, all the little cupcakes, the mixing bowl. Her hair even was just a lot of fun. All of the pinks and everything, which I thought I would get tired of, but I absolutely loved. The only other real complaint I have is her eyes. And in going back and looking at the original image, they do look like the original image, but I guess just having them blown up to this size, the way that they look like demon eyes. They're very red. They're not like people's eyes. And I know that's to go in with the scheme of the drills and everything. And again, looking at the original image, I would say they're probably more brown than pink, but they appear more red here. So that was a little weird, but little annoyances. The special drill that it came with that was like the top of some of these little canisters and were on the big picture that had the polka dots on it. They used the quad cubes for that. I get why they did it, but because they stand up so tall, when you're trying to roll over it and make sure that all your drills are seated, all it catches is those drills because they're so much taller. So I would much rather have done actually 4 ABs rather than these big quad cubes. But that is just my opinion. Yours may be different. I did really enjoy this kit. I'm actually amazed at how much I enjoyed it. There were a few days of this is this other big section of windows, and I actually did have to take the windows in sections. Instead of using release paper for this one, I actually kept the perforated cover sheet on just because I was kind of trying to see, honestly, where all these ABs were, where the windows ended, and how much I could do in a day. Because it really was, okay, start out the day diamond painting, do as much of the windows as I could until I got super frustrated, walk away, come back, and then work on a different section because it was just super frustrating. It probably took me as long to do all the ABs in the windows as it did some of these side sections. But just overall, super happy with how it turned out. If I had a place to put this, I might frame it and hang it. I don't think I have a place to put it, but for now, even if she just goes to live in the portfolio, I'm so glad that I did this one. I actually considered passing this one on to somebody else. And then I decided to open it. And once I opened it, I was like, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one because the whole reason I bought it was that I was so drawn to not only the subject matter of all the cakes and the cookies and the baked goods and that kind of stuff and the cake decorating, but also because I really, really loved all the pinks in it. The little pink accents on her apron, the little pink cafe curtain at the top of the window, all the pink. There's a pink fairy dust in here on top of the jelly roll. Everything was just, it's just that pastel kawaii. So cute. But it is big. I definitely don't know if I'm ready to start on another one this big right now. I think I'm going to work on Naoko and then move on to, probably by the time I finish that one, it'll be time for DP for Veterans, our Diamond Paint Along in November. However, that may change. We'll see. Sometimes I change my mind. Anyway, I'm so super happy to be done with this. I can't tell you. I haven't figured out my hours yet, but yeah, just a lot of, even when it was kind of the boring parts where I was doing like the stripes on the wallpaper and stuff like that, still very, very enjoyable. If you don't mind doing very huge kits and you don't mind a lot of ABs, honestly, if anybody else is planning to buy this one or if you have this one, I would try to buy fairy dust for these and do the fairy dust instead. I get why they did it because it kind of looks like this iridescent prism, so it makes it look more like a window and less like a mirror. Plus, there's already all of her apron is white fairy dust, so I get why they didn't. And I wanted to do it as charted just so I could see what it looked like. But man, was it a pain in the rear end to work all those in. But she's done and she's super cute, and so I'm so happy about her. So, yeah. Let me know if any of you guys have done this actual kit. I did like one other thing that I just thought of. I did like, rather than having black as outline, the outline color was this very, very dark red. That was a color I was afraid I was going to run out of, but I ended up having plenty. I don't know, somehow because it wasn't black, it was less annoying to outline everything in it because it gets I think it got used in every single section that I did. But still, super cute. Anyway, what was I saying? Let me know below if you guys have ever done a kit by Miss Holly. Has anybody done this kit in particular? What did you think of it? If you've done it, what did you think of all of the ABs in this window? And let me know, did you have issues with popping drills? Because even now, I'm running my fingers over it. Even after I've gone over it with my rolling pin several times, I can still see places where it looks like drills are popping out that I need to go fix. So not too many, but just not something I've ever had a problem with before. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.